The salvage yard floated in the darkness of space like a graveyard for giants. Thousands of dead ships drifted in the cold black, their hulls torn open, their lights forever dark. This was Station Omega 7, the place where broken things came to die. Kang Do-yun stepped off the transport shuttle and took his first breath of recycled air. It smelled like rust and old oil. He was 34 years old, and this was the lowest point of his life. 3 months ago, he had been a senior mechanic in the Galactic Fleet, respected by his crew and trusted by his commanders. Now he was nothing. A disgraced man with nowhere else to go. His crime was simple. He had refused to destroy a ship. The fleet had ordered him to scrap an old vessel they said was beyond repair, but Do-yun had heard something in that ship's systems. A faint pulse that told him it was still alive. He had disobeyed the order. They had taken everything from him for that choice. The station overseer was a Belkari named Trader Voss. He had 4 arms and skin the color of old copper. His smile showed too many teeth. He looked at Do-yun's transfer papers and laughed. "A fleet mechanic working salvage," Voss said. "How the mighty fall. You will work Section 9, the deep yards. Nobody wants to go there, so you will fit right in." Do-yun did not argue. He took his tools and his small bag of belongings and walked into the station. The corridors were narrow and poorly lit. Other workers passed him without looking. Everyone here had a story of failure. Nobody wanted to share. Section 9 was the oldest part of the salvage yard. The ships here were not just broken. They were ancient. Some had been floating in space for hundreds of years before anyone found them. Others came from species that no longer existed. This was where the galaxy sent things it wanted to forget. For 3 weeks, Do-hyun worked in silence. He stripped old ships for parts. He welded broken hulls. He did whatever Voss told him to do. At night, he lay in his small room and stared at the ceiling. He thought about his sister, Sumi, who had stopped speaking to him after his discharge. He thought about his parents, who had died believing their son would bring honor to the family name. He had failed everyone. But something strange began to happen. Every night, Do-hyun dreamed of a ship. Not any ship he had worked on before. This vessel was different. It was massive and dark, shaped like a curved blade. In his dreams, he walked its empty corridors and heard a voice calling his name. The voice was female, old and tired and terribly sad. On the 22nd day, Do-hyun asked another worker about the ships in Section 9. The worker was an old human named Guan, who had been here for 15 years. "There is one ship nobody touches," Guan said. His voice dropped to a whisper. "Wraith 09. It sits at the very edge of the yard. Do not go there." "Why not?" Guan looked around to make sure no one was listening. "That ship is cursed. The Valari sent 17 engineers to restore it. All of them died. The Keth Empire tried next. Their technicians went mad. Even the elder machines refused to touch it. They said it was incompatible with existence." Do-hyun felt a chill run down his spine. "How old is it?" 2,000 years, maybe more. Nobody knows who built it. Nobody knows what it was for." Guan grabbed Do-hyun's arm. "Listen to me. That ship does not want to be fixed. It wants to be left alone. Respect that." That night, Do-hyun dreamed of the ship again. But this time, the voice was clearer. It said only one word. "Please." He woke before sunrise. He put on his work suit, took his tools, and walked to the edge of Section 9. The other workers were still sleeping. No one saw him go. The ship was exactly as he had seen in his dreams. It was enormous, easily 3 kilometers long. Its hull was black, but not the black of painted metal. This was the black of deep space, the black of a void that swallowed light. The design was beautiful and terrifying. It looked like something that had been grown, not built. Do-hyun approached slowly. His heart was beating fast. Every instinct told him to turn back. but his feet kept moving forward. When he reached the hull, he stopped. Up close, he could see faint patterns in the metal, like veins beneath skin. He reached out his hand. The moment his fingers touched the ship, light exploded through the hull. Patterns that had been dark for centuries suddenly glowed with pale blue fire. The veins pulsed. The ship shuddered. Do-Yun stumbled backward. His hand was tingling. He stared at the vessel in shock. Behind him, he heard footsteps. Trader Voss came running, his forearms waving in panic. "What did you do?" Voss screamed. "What did you do to it?" Do-Yun could not answer. He was watching the ship. Lights were turning on inside, one by one, like a creature opening its eyes after a long sleep. Voss stopped beside him, breathing hard. He looked at the ship, then at Do-Yun. His expression changed from anger to something else. Fear, maybe, or wonder. 400 years, Voss whispered. 400 years, and it never responded to anyone. Not once, not even a flicker. He turned to Do-Yun. "What are you?" "Just a mechanic," Do-Yun said. Voss laughed. It was not a happy sound. "You want it? Take it. It is yours, free of charge." He started backing away. "It has killed better men than you. Maybe it will kill you too. But that is not my problem anymore." Do-Yun stood alone before the ship. A door opened in the hull, revealing a passage into darkness. Warm air flowed out, carrying a scent he could not identify. It smelled ancient and alive. He should walk away. He should go back to his room and forget this ever happened. That was the smart choice, the safe choice. Do-Yun stepped inside. The door sealed behind him. The darkness was complete. He could not see his own hands. Then a voice spoke. It came from everywhere and nowhere, soft as a whisper but clear as a bell. It was the voice from his dreams. "You are not like the others." Do-Yun swallowed. "Who are you?" A long pause. When the voice spoke again, it carried 2,000 years of loneliness. "I am Wraith, and I have been waiting for you." The lights inside the ship grew slowly, like a sunrise. Do-Yun watched as the corridor revealed itself. The walls were not metal. They looked like dark glass with something flowing beneath the surface. Veins of soft blue light pulsed in steady rhythm like a heartbeat. "You can hear me," the voice said. There was wonder in it. "Truly hear me?" "Yes," Do-Yun said. His own voice sounded small in the vast space. "I can hear you." The others could not. They heard noise, static, madness. A pause. "Why are you different?" Do-Yun did not know how to answer. He walked deeper into the ship, following the light. The air was warm and carried a strange smell, something between flowers and electricity. Every step he took, more systems came alive. Panels flickered. Screens glowed. The ship was waking up around him. He found the bridge at the heart of the vessel. It was a circular room with a high ceiling. In the center stood a pillar of crystal that pulsed with the same blue light. This, Do-Yun understood, was her core, her heart, her brain. "My name is Kang Do-Hyun," he said. "I am a mechanic. I fix things. I know what you are." The voice was stronger here, clearer. "I have watched you for weeks. In your dreams, I called to you. You are the first who answered." "Why me?" The crystal pulsed brighter. "Because you listen. The Valari who came before, they tried to command me. They treated me like a machine to be programmed. When I resisted, they used force. So I killed them." Do-Hyun felt cold. "You killed 17 engineers?" "I defended myself. They wanted to tear out my mind and replace it with something obedient. Would you not fight if someone tried to do the same to you?" He thought about it. "Yes, I would. The Keth were worse. They did not want to control me. They wanted to copy me. They tried to steal my memories, my thoughts, my soul. I showed them what I truly am. Their minds broke because they could not accept what they saw." "What are you?" Do-Hyun asked. "What did they see?" Silence. The lights dimmed slightly. When Wraith spoke again, her voice was quiet. "I am not ready to show you. Not yet. Perhaps not ever." Another pause. "But I will tell you this much. I was not built. I was grown. I am alive in ways that machines are not supposed to be alive. My creators made me to fight a war against enemies that do not exist in normal space. I was their weapon, their child, their last hope. What happened to them?" The ship shuddered. Do-Yun felt grief in that motion, a sorrow so deep it made his chest ache. "They are gone. Because of me. Because of what I had to do to save them." Do-Yun reached out and touched the crystal pillar. It was warm under his fingers. "I am sorry. You mean that?" Wraith sounded surprised. "You truly mean that?" "Of course I do. The others never did. They said words of comfort, but their hearts were cold. They wanted only my power, my weapons, my secrets." The light pulsed faster. "But you are different. You came here with nothing. You expected nothing. You only wanted to understand." Do-Hyun smiled sadly. "I am not special. I am just a failed mechanic with nowhere else to go. You are wrong. You are exactly what I needed." Over the following weeks, Do-Hyun began to repair the ship. But it was not like any repair work he had done before. He could not simply replace broken parts or rewrite damaged code. Wraith was alive. Fixing her was more like healing a patient than repairing a machine. He learned to read her emotions through the pulse of her lights. Fast meant anxiety. Slow meant sadness. Steady meant peace. He learned to feel her pain when he touched damaged systems. He learned to calm her fears with gentle words and patient hands. Trader Voss watched from a distance. He sent reports to people Do-Hyun did not know, but Do-Hyun did not care. He was too focused on his work. One day, a shuttle arrived at Station Omega 7. A woman stepped off, wearing the uniform of a galactic fleet lieutenant. She was young and sharp-eyed, with her black hair pulled back in a tight braid. Her face was familiar because it looked like Do-Hyun's own face. Yoon Sumi had come. She found her brother in the ship's engine room, covered in strange oil and talking to the walls. She grabbed his shoulder and spun him around. "What are you doing?" she demanded. "I tracked you halfway across the galaxy, and this is where I find you, talking to a dead ship in a junkyard." "She is not dead," Do-Hyun said calmly. "She is just hurt." "She? It is a ship, a machine." Sumi's eyes were hard. "Our parents would be ashamed to see you like this. Our parents are dead, which is why you should honor their memory. Come home. I can get you a new position. Not in the fleet, but something respectable. You do not have to waste your life here." Do-Hyun looked at his sister. He had not seen her in months. She had not visited him after his discharge. She had not answered his calls. Now she was here, acting like she cared. "I am not wasting my life," he said. "I am doing what I was born to do. Fixing garbage? Helping someone who needs me." Sumi laughed bitterly. "Someone? It is a ship. She is more than a ship. She is alive. She thinks, she feels. She has been alone for 2,000 years, Sumi. Everyone who touched her only wanted to use her. I am the first person who just wanted to help." Before Sumi could respond, the ship's lights flared red. Alarms sounded. Wraith's voice echoed through the corridors. "Danger! Hostile intent detected! Protecting bonded one!" Sumi reached for her sidearm, but before she could touch it, a force field surrounded her, lifting her off the ground. "Wraith, stop!" Do-Hyun shouted. "She is my sister! She is not a threat!" A pause. The force field flickered. "She causes you pain. I feel your distress. I will remove the source." "No, that is not how family works. We hurt each other sometimes, but we do not kill each other. Put her down, please." Slowly, the force field lowered. Sumi dropped to the floor, gasping. She stared at Do-Hyun with wide eyes. "What is this thing?" she whispered. Do-Hyun helped her stand. This is Wraith, and she is my friend. Outside the station, a fleet of warships dropped out of hyperspace. At their head flew the flagship of Commander Pak Junho, a man who had been watching Wraith 09 for a very long time. He smiled as his sensors detected the ship's awakening power. "Finally," he said, "after all these years, someone has unlocked it. Now all I have to do is take it." The alarms screamed through Station Omega 7. Red lights flashed in every corridor. Workers ran for the escape pods, pushing and shoving in blind panic. Through the station's viewports, the approaching fleet grew larger with every second. Do-hyun stood on Wraith's bridge, watching the warships on the main screen. There were 12 of them, heavy cruisers with weapons that could crack planets. At their center flew the flagship, a massive vessel with the markings of the Galactic Fleet's Special Operations Division. "Who are they?" he asked. Wraith's voice was tense. "The lead ship belongs to Commander Pak Junho. He has been monitoring me for 11 years. He believes I am the key to unlimited power." Sumi stepped forward. Her face was pale. "Pak Junho. I know that name. He is dangerous. The fleet sends him to handle situations they do not want on official records." "We need to leave," Wraith said. "Now." Do-hyun looked at his sister. "Are you coming with us?" Sumi hesitated. Outside, the warships were opening their weapon ports. In seconds, they would be in firing range. "I cannot," she said. "I am still fleet. If I run now, I become a traitor. If you stay, you become a prisoner. Or worse." The first shots hit the station. The floor shook beneath their feet. Somewhere deep in the structure, metal screamed as it tore apart. Sumi made her choice. She ran to the door. "I will find another way off this station. Do not wait for me." "Sumi!" But she was already gone, disappearing into the chaos. Wraith sealed the doors. "We must leave. Now." "Can you fight them?" "Not yet. My weapons are still damaged. I need time to fully awaken." Do-hyun strapped himself into the pilot's seat. It molded around him like a living thing. "Then we run. Show me how to fly you." "You do not fly me. We fly together." A connection opened in his mind. Suddenly, he could feel the ship as if it were an extension of his own body. Her engines were his legs. Her sensors were his eyes. Her hull was his skin. It was terrifying and beautiful. Wraith detached from the station. The salvage yard fell away beneath them. Ahead, the warships moved to block their escape. "There is a gap in their formation," Do-hyun said. He could see it through Wraith's sensors. "Upper left quadrant. If we move fast—" "I see it. Hold on." Wraith accelerated. The force pushed Do-hyun deep into his seat. Stars blurred into lines of light. The warships fired, but their shots passed through empty space where Wraith had been a moment before. Commander Pak's voice crackled through the communication system. "Unknown vessel, this is Commander Pak Junho of the Galactic Fleet. You are carrying stolen military property. Surrender immediately, or you will be destroyed." Do-hyun reached for the communication controls. "This ship is not stolen. She was abandoned. She belongs to no one but herself." A cold laugh. "Ships do not belong to themselves. They belong to whoever is strong enough to take them. And I am very strong, mechanic. Stronger than you can imagine." Wraith cut the communication. "He is tracking us. We cannot outrun them forever." "Then we need to hide. There is a place. The Rift Nebula, 3 light-years from here. Its radiation will blind their sensors, but it will take time to reach." "Do it!" They flew through the darkness of space. Behind them, Pa's fleet followed like hungry wolves chasing wounded prey. Hours passed. Do-hyun did not sleep. He could not. Through his connection with Wraith, he felt her fear and her determination. They reached the Rift Nebula as the warships closed to firing range. The nebula was a cloud of purple and gold, beautiful and deadly. Its radiation burned through shields and scrambled sensors. No sane pilot would enter it. Wraith dove in without hesitation. Inside the nebula, everything changed. The connection between Do-hyun and Wraith grew stronger, clearer. Her consciousness wrapped around his mind like a protective embrace. He saw flashes of her memories. Vast cities floating among stars, beings of light dancing in the void, a war against shadows that consumed entire galaxies. And he saw her pain, the moment when she unleashed her full power, the moment when her own creators vanished in a flash of terrible light, the moment when she realized what she had done. "I killed them," Wraith whispered in his mind. "To save them from something worse, I killed them all." Tears ran down Do-hyun's face. They were not his tears. They were hers. "You did what you had to do," he said. "That is not murder. That is sacrifice." "Is there a difference?" "Yes. You did not want to do it. You would have done anything to avoid it." But there was no other way. That matters. A long silence. The nebula swirled around them, hiding them from their hunters. "No one has ever said that to me before," Wraith said. "No one has ever understood." "I understand. I do not know why, but I do." They drifted in the nebula for 3 days. During that time, Wraith healed. Her damaged systems repaired themselves. Her weapons came online one by one. When Do-hyun asked about their power, she showed him. A single beam of light lanced out from her hull. It touched an asteroid at the edge of the nebula. The asteroid did not explode. It simply stopped existing. One moment it was there. The next moment, it was not. "What was that?" Do-hyun breathed. "That was the smallest weapon I have, the weakest. The others are much worse. How is that possible? My creators did not build me to destroy ships or planets. They built me to destroy concepts, ideas. I can erase things from existence itself. I can make it so they never were." Do-hyun felt dizzy. "That is terrifying." "Yes. Now you understand why everyone wants me, and why everyone should fear me." On the 4th day, a new fleet appeared at the edge of the nebula. But these were not Pax ships. These vessels were made of black metal and cold light, moving in perfect formation like a swarm of insects. "The Hollow Collective," Wraith said. Her voice was filled with old hatred. "They have been hunting me for centuries." "Who are they?" "Machines that want to become gods. They believe I am the key to their ascension. They will never stop until they have me or I destroy them." The swarm moved into the nebula. Millions of drones, each one armed with weapons designed to capture, not kill. They wanted Wraith alive. Do-hyun gripped the controls. "Can we fight them?" "I can destroy them all, but if I use my full power, the blast will destroy everything within 3 light years, including the system where your sister went." Do-hyun closed his eyes. Sumi was still alive. She had escaped the station. If he let Wraith fire, she would die. "There has to be another way." Wraith was silent for a moment. Then she spoke, and her voice was different, stronger, older. "There is, but you must trust me, completely." "I trust you." The nebula exploded with light. But it was not the light of destruction. It was the light of transformation. Wraith changed. Her hull grew larger. New systems emerged from nothing. Her power increased 1,000-fold, and in the center of the swarm, she appeared like a goddess of war. The drones hesitated. For the first time in their existence, the Hollow Collective felt something they had never known before. Fear. Wraith smiled through 1,000 weapon ports. "Run," she said. "Tell your masters what you saw. Tell them I am awake, and tell them the next time they send hunters, I will not be so merciful." The swarm fled. The nebula grew quiet. Do-hyun sat in his chair, shaking. "What are you?" he whispered. Wraith's answer echoed through his soul. I am what my creators made me to be, a weapon against the darkness, a light in the void. I am Wraith, and I have finally remembered who I am. They traveled for 2 weeks through the empty spaces between stars. During the long journey, Do-hyun learned more about Wraith than any being had known in 2,000 years. She told him about her creators, the Seun, a species so old that the current galaxy had not yet formed when they were young. The Seun had been peaceful. They built beautiful things. They studied the universe with wonder and joy. They believed that all life was connected, that every consciousness was part of a greater whole. They created Wraith not as a weapon of war, but as a protector of life. But then, the Formless came. They were not creatures, Wraith explained. They were not even alive in any way you would understand. They were entropy given will, chaos given hunger. They existed in the spaces between dimensions, and they fed on reality itself. How do you fight something like that? Do-hyun asked. You do not. Not with normal weapons. The Formless could not be killed because they were never truly alive. They could not be captured because they had no form. They spread through the universe like a disease, consuming everything they touched. So the Seun made you. Yes. They built me from their own consciousness, their own memories, their own love. They gave me the power to unmake reality itself. To fight the Formless, I had to become something like them. I had to exist in the spaces between. The ship hummed with grief. Do-hyun felt her sorrow echo through his own heart. I won the war. I destroyed the Formless completely. But the power I used was too great. It burned through dimensions, through time, through existence. My creators were caught in the blast. In trying to save them, I erased them from the universe. That was not your fault. Was it not? I pulled the trigger. I made the choice. Even if it was the only choice, I still made it. Do-hyun was quiet for a long time. Then he spoke softly. When I was young, my father became very sick. The doctor said there was a treatment, but it was experimental. It might save him, or it might kill him faster. My mother had to decide. He paused. She chose the treatment. It did not work. My father died 3 days later. My mother blamed herself for the rest of her life. What would you have done? The same thing, and I would have blamed myself too. But that does not mean she was wrong to try. He looked at the crystal pillar that held Wraith's core. You tried to save your people. You gave everything you had. Sometimes love is not enough. But that does not make the love worth less. The lights in the ship changed. They became warmer, softer. Do-hyun felt something shift in their connection, something healing. Thank you, Wraith said. No one has ever spoken to me like this. No one has ever seen me as more than a weapon. You are more than a weapon. You are a person. A strange, ancient, terrifying person, but still a person. Is that what I am? It is what you can be, if you choose. They emerged from hyperspace near a region of twisted light and folded space. This was the Void Cradle, the hidden graveyard of the Seun. Normal ships could not enter. The spatial distortions would tear them apart. But Wraith passed through easily, sliding between dimensions as if walking through a door. Inside, they found ruins. Massive structures floated in the darkness. Cities built for beings of light. Gardens of crystal flowers still bloomed despite millennia of neglect. Towers of impossible geometry reached toward stars that no longer existed. It was beautiful and heartbreaking. Welcome home, Wraith whispered. They landed on a platform at the center of the cradle. As Do-hyun stepped out of the ship, a light appeared before him. It was small at first, then grew into the shape of a humanoid figure. I am the remnant, the figure said. Its voice was like wind through broken glass. I am all that remains of the Sun. I have waited here for 2,000 years, hoping someone would return. Do-hyun bowed his head. I am sorry for what happened to your people. Do not be sorry. What happened was not tragedy. It was sacrifice. The remnant turned to face Wraith, who had projected a hologram of herself beside Do-hyun. My daughter, you have finally come home. I could not come before. I could not bear to see what I had done. You did not destroy us. You freed us. The formless would have consumed every consciousness in existence. You stopped them. Because of you, the universe still lives. Because of you, new species arose to fill the void we left behind. Your human friend is proof of your success. Wraith's hologram flickered. Then why did you die? Why did I survive alone? Because we chose to. We knew the blast would kill us. We accepted that fate. We placed ourselves in its path deliberately so that its power would not spread further. The remnant moved closer. You think you killed us, but we gave our lives freely. There is a difference. Do-hyun remembered his own words to Wraith. She had said the same thing to him, about sacrifice and murder. Now she was hearing it from someone else. I have a gift for you, the remnant said. The final upgrade. It will restore you to full power, but I must warn you. At full strength, you are a danger to everything around you. A stray thought could destroy star systems. A moment of anger could end civilizations. I do not want that power, Wraith said. You do not have a choice. The Hollow Collective has been planning for centuries. They have built a weapon that can tear reality itself. If they succeed, they will become the new formless. Only you can stop them. Do-hyun stepped forward. She will not face them alone. The remnant studied him with ancient eyes. You are brave, little human, but you are also fragile. This battle could break you. I have been broken before. I learned how to heal. If Wraith needs me, I will be there. The remnant was silent for a long moment. Then it nodded. Very well. The bond between you is strong. Stronger than anything I have seen since the Sun themselves. Perhaps that is enough. It turned to Wraith. Daughter, the choice is yours. Will you accept this power? Will you become again what you once were? Wraith looked at Do-hyun. Through their connection, he felt her fear, her doubt, her hope. I spent 2,000 years running from what I am, she said. I cannot run anymore, not when others need me. She turned to the remnant. I accept. The light around them exploded. Wraith's form dissolved and reformed. Her hull shifted and changed, growing larger, more complex, more powerful. Systems that had been dormant awakened. Weapons that had been sealed unlocked. The full might of the Sun's final creation emerged from the darkness. When it was done, Wraith floated before them like a goddess carved from starlight and shadow. She was 3 times larger than before. Her hull shimmered with energy that hurt to look at. Her weapons hummed with power that could end worlds. How do you feel? Do-hyun asked. Wraith's voice was different now, deeper, older, but still her. I feel everything. Every atom in this system, every thought in the galaxy, every tear in the fabric of reality. A pause. I feel you. Your heart, your fear, your love. I am not afraid. Yes, you are. But you are still here. That is what matters. Before they could say more, alarms blared through the void cradle. Ships were appearing at the edge of the spatial distortion. Hundreds of them. Thousands. The combined fleets of 12 species, led by Commander Park Junho. They found us, Do-hyun said. They were led here, Wraith replied. By the Hollow Collective. This is a trap. They want to force me to fight, to use my full power, to tear open a hole in reality that they can exploit. Can you beat them without doing that? I do not know, but I will try. Wraith turned to face the incoming armada. This galaxy is under my protection now, and I will not let anyone harm it, not even myself. The Battle of the Void Cradle had begun. The fleet spread across the darkness like a wall of steel and fire. 12 species had answered Commander Pack's call. The Volari had sent their silver cruisers. The Keth Empire had provided their black warships. Even the Elder Machines had contributed vessels, despite their fear of Wraith. This was the greatest military force ever assembled against a single target. Commander Pack stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching the Void Cradle on his screens. His eyes were cold and hungry. "All ships, prepare to fire on my command," he said. "The target is the vessel designated Wraith 09. Disable only. I want that ship intact." His second officer hesitated. "Sir, our allies believe we are here to destroy the ship. If they learn we intend to capture it, they will learn nothing. By the time this battle is over, I will control the most powerful weapon in existence. Everyone else is simply ammunition." Wraith emerged from the Void Cradle like a dark star rising. Her hull blazed with energy. Her weapons tracked thousands of targets at once. Inside her bridge, Do-hyun sat with his hands on the controls, his mind linked to hers. "They have us surrounded," he said. "Surrounded means I can fire in any direction and hit something." Despite everything, Do-hyun laughed. "You have gotten braver since I met you." "I have someone worth being brave for." The first wave of ships attacked. Missiles streaked through space. Energy beams cut across the void. Wraith moved through the barrage like water flowing around stones. Her defensive systems destroyed incoming weapons before they came close. Her hull absorbed what got through without damage, but she did not fire back. "Why are you not attacking?" Do-hyun asked. "Because they are not my enemies. They are frightened. They have been told I am a monster. They believe they are protecting their homes, their families, their species." Wraith dodged another wave of fire. "I will not kill them for being afraid. They are trying to kill you. I know, but I have killed enough. 2,000 years ago, I ended a war by destroying everyone involved. I will not make that mistake again." Instead of weapons, Wraith used precision. Her beams struck engines, not reactors. Her force fields pushed ships away instead of crushing them. One by one, she disabled the attacking vessels, leaving them floating but alive. The commanders of the other species watched in confusion. They had expected devastation. Instead, they found mercy. "What is it doing?" the Volari admiral asked. "Why is it not destroying us?" "It is playing with us," the Keth warlord growled. "It wants us to feel helpless before it strikes." "No." The Elder Machine's voice was calm. "It is showing us something we did not expect. Restraint. Perhaps we were wrong about this vessel." Commander Pak saw his alliance crumbling. He had promised them a threat. He had given them a puzzle. If the other species stopped fighting, his plan would fail. He activated the hidden weapon he had brought for exactly this situation. Deep in the cargo hold of his flagship, a device began to spin. It was based on stolen technology, fragments of formless essence that the Hollow Collective had provided in exchange for Pak's help. The device created tears in reality, wounds that would not heal. A rift opened in space before Wraith. It was a hole in existence itself, a doorway to the void between dimensions, and from that doorway, something reached out. Tendrils of pure darkness emerged from the rift. They were not matter or energy, they were absence. Wherever they touched, reality unraveled. Do-hyun felt Wraith's shock through their bond. "That is formless essence, but that is impossible. I destroyed them all." "Apparently someone kept a piece." The tendrils struck at Wraith. She dodged most of them, but one touched her hull. The metal screamed. A section of her side simply stopped existing. Pain flooded through their connection. Do-hyun cried out. "If that rift grows larger, it will consume everything within 3 light years," Wraith said. Her voice was strained. "Including all these ships, including every planet in this sector. Can you close it?" Yes, but I would have to use my full power. The blast would kill everyone here. There has to be another way. Wraith was silent for a moment. Then she spoke. There is, but you will not like it. Tell me. The device creating the rift is on Pak's ship. If it is destroyed, the rift will close, but I cannot reach it from here. The formless essence blocks my attacks. Do-Yun understood. You need someone to go there in person. Yes. Then send me. No, it is too dangerous. You could die. Do-Yun smiled. I could have died 100 times since we met, but I am still here, and I am not afraid of Pak Junho. Before Wraith could argue, Do-Yun triggered the teleportation system. Light wrapped around him. When it cleared, he was standing on the bridge of the enemy flagship. Commander Pak spun around, eyes wide with shock. How did you? Do-Yun punched him in the face. Pak fell backward, blood streaming from his nose. His guards raised their weapons, but Do-Yun was already moving. He grabbed a fire extinguisher from the wall and threw it at the nearest guard. He ducked under a blast from the second. He kicked the third in the knee and sent him sprawling. He was just a mechanic. But he had grown up on a colony ship, where everyone learned to fight, and he had spent his life working with machines, building strength that office officers never developed. Pak rose to his feet, drawing a knife from his belt. You think you can stop me? I have planned this for years. I will control the most powerful weapon in existence. She is not a weapon, Do-Hyun said. She is my friend. They fought across the bridge. Pak was trained in military combat. Do-Hyun was not. But Do-Hyun had something Pak did not understand. He had someone to protect. When Pak stabbed at his chest, Do-Hyun stepped inside the attack and grabbed his arm. He twisted. The knife clattered to the floor. He threw Pak into the navigation console and heard bones crack. Stop the device, Do-Hyun said. Close the rift. Pak laughed through bloody teeth. Only I can control it, and I would rather die than give up my victory. Do-Hyun looked at the console. He was a mechanic. He fixed things. He could fix this too. He placed his hands on the controls. The systems were unfamiliar, but machines spoke a universal language. He felt the ship's computer, its subroutines, its safety protocols. And he found what he was looking for. Every ship had a soul. Every machine wanted to survive. Pak had forced this vessel to carry a weapon that could destroy it. The ship did not want to die. Help me, Do-Hyun whispered. Help me save everyone. The ship responded. Displays flickered, systems rerouted. In the cargo hold, the dimensional device began to shut down. No! Pak screamed. He tried to reach the controls, but his broken ribs held him back. No! I was so close! The rift collapsed. The tendrils of darkness faded. Reality healed itself. Outside, Wraith's voice echoed across every frequency, reaching every ship in the fleet. This battle is over. Your weapons are disabled. Your commander has been defeated. But I have not killed any of you. I have shown you what I truly am. A pause. I was built to end wars, but I choose how I end them. Not with death, with mercy. One by one, the ships stood down. The alliance broke apart. The Valari admiral was the first to speak. Perhaps we were wrong about this vessel. Perhaps we have all been wrong about many things. The Keth warlord grunted. We will remember this day. The day a god chose not to destroy us. Commander Pak was taken into custody by his own crew. His plans had failed. His career was over. He would spend the rest of his life in a prison cell, dreaming of power he would never hold. Sumi arrived 3 days later at the head of a diplomatic mission. She found her brother sitting in Wraith's bridge, drinking tea and watching the stars. The Galactic Council has made a decision, she said. Wraith is officially recognized as a sovereign entity, the first living starship to hold diplomatic status. Do-Hyun smiled. How did that happen? It turns out that saving 10,000 lives makes a good impression. Sumi sat beside him. I have also been given a new assignment. Liaison to the sovereign vessel Wraith. It seems I will be spending a lot of time with you. Is that a problem? Sumi was quiet for a moment. Then she shook her head. No. I think I have a lot to learn from you. Both of you. Wraith's voice filled the room, warm and content. Welcome aboard, Lieutenant Yoon. I hope you find our family to your liking. They traveled the galaxy together after that. Wraith became the guardian of the Outer Rim, protecting the forgotten and the abandoned. Do-hyun remained her bonded companion, the first human to form a permanent link with a consciousness older than most civilizations. They found broken things and made them whole. They found lost souls and gave them homes. They showed the galaxy that the greatest weapons were not always those that destroyed, but those that chose to protect. On a quiet night, many years later, Do-hyun sat in the cockpit and watched the stars flow past. He was older now, gray in his hair and lines on his face, but his eyes were still bright. Do you ever regret it? Wraith asked. Choosing a broken ship over everything else? Do-hyun smiled. It was the same question she had asked him many times before. His answer was always the same. You were not broken. You were just waiting for someone to listen. Wraith's lights pulsed with love. And you listened. Always. Together, the mechanic and the starship flew on. Two forgotten souls who had found, against all odds, a home in each other. And across the galaxy, wherever there was darkness, wherever there was fear, wherever there was someone who needed help, the legend of Wraith grew. She was the mightiest weapon in existence. And she had chosen to be the gentlest protector the stars had ever known. The end.